Hi friends, my name is Kim Karpluk. I'm a senior artist and beauty class facilitator for Sephora 5th Avenue in New York City. And today I'm going to show you how to do a wonderful, colorful winged liner look. So if you're ready for a little drama in your life and you want to be a little extra like me, stay tuned. To prime my eyes for all day long wear, I'm using my Urban Decay Original Primer Potion. This is actually the first product I ever bought at Sephora, and over the years I've tried pretty much every eyeshadow primer, and because my lids are so oily, this one for me keeps everything in place. There's a big chance of it transferring if I don't prime that area first. That primer is going to act like super glue to keep on all the products so it doesn't start to shift around my lid. Because my liner is the focus, I really just wanted to contour my eye shape, so I just used my Kat Von D Shade and Light Face Contour Refillable Palette. So to neutralize my lid and to prevent the darker colors from sticking too much, I'm using the shade Lyric as a base all over my eye. And I'm using my favorite blending brush from Sephora, number 38. Again, I'm really priming my canvas by taking that shade from the lash line all the way up to the brow bone. So that way when I go in with my dark contour colors, they don't stick too much to one area of primer. To begin contouring my eyes, I'm going to start with the warmer shade. This one is called Shadow Play. When you're doing this step, especially if you have hooded eyes, but really for everybody, when you first place that crease color, do this step with your eye open, looking straight ahead. Because it's only a little bit deeper than my skin tone, if I make a mistake with it, if I bring it too high or too low, it's not going to be insanely visible to the eye. But this tells me where my placement of my darker colors is going to go. As I go deeper and deeper, I will never go higher than I will with that first transition color. Of course, you still want to blend like it's your friend. So I take my number 38 brush, and starting at the outer corner, I use little circular motions working inward and then back and forth to really diffuse any hard lines or edges. So what goes up must come down. So I'm going to use that same exact shade with my number 18 brush to buff a little bit of that color right into my bottom lash line. So to add more definition and lift to my eyes, I'm now using the shade Somber with my flat number 14 brush. I always say with flat, you pat. Patting will build that saturation. Because my eyes are so hooded, I need to optically lift them up a little bit. Again, as I go deeper and deeper, I'm going to use less and less of the product. So I'm keeping it really tight and close to that outer V, that outer corner of my eye. And then, of course, I go back in and blend it as well. I always go from my flat 14 to my fluffy 38, and I just bounce back and forth to build that saturation in my crease and on my lid. And same exact technique as before, you guys. This should feel really monotonous, but that means you're doing it well. And once again, same exact application tip and trick. I'm going to use my flat number 18 brush to bring that same deeper contour shade to my bottom lash line. Every time I go deeper and deeper, I keep it closer and closer to the outer corner. So the first time I brought that shade all the way across my lash line, now I'm just bringing it halfway. All right, just one more time, I promise. So now I'm using the shade Subconscious, and I'm doing that same exact technique one more time, using less and less of the product, bringing it less and less far out. So I'm keeping it really tight into that outer corner of my eye. I'm using my flat 14 brush to pat it in, and then I use my number 38 fluffy brush to blend it out. At this point, your hand should almost be cramping from blending so much, but that means you're doing a really good job. The more you blend, the more seamless your look is going to be. So again, same technique, you guys. I use my number 18 brush and that deepest contour shade, and this time I keep it right to the outer third of my eye. So every time I go deeper, I use less and less of it and keep it closer to the natural contours that I already have. To add some extra brightness to my eye and to make my eye look a little bit bigger, I'm using that same shade we first used, Lyric, and I'm just going to take a little bit on the tip of my finger and pat it onto the ball of my eye, the center of my eye that naturally comes forward. By adding a bright shadow there, it maximizes that area. It makes it look a little bit bigger than it is naturally. And just one last blend, you guys. When in doubt, blend it out. So now we're moving on to the most important part of this look, the Sephora Collection Colorful Shadow and Liner in number 39, My Boyfriend's Jeans. So I'm about to make you really nervous. I'm going to use this big pencil to line right at my lash line, starting at the outer corner and working inward, so that way I have more saturation there. And I'm actually going to blend out this crayon into a really defined and intense winged liner. The most important part, you guys, is to be as messy as possible. Just trust the fact that you'll be able to fix it. Makeup is its own eraser. If you accidentally bring it out too far or too high, there's always primer to fix, and I'll show you guys that in a second. I'm really building up that color at my outer corner of my eye first because that's what I'm going to bring out into that wing. By placing a lot of cream shadow there, I can then go in with my number 22 angled liner brush and really sweep that wing outward. It's really important to work just one eye at a time. These liners dry down waterproof, and by waterproof, I mean they are locked and loaded. They won't transfer, which is amazing for hooded eyes, but that also means they're gonna dry quickly, and if you don't blend it out while it's wet, it's gonna be stuck there all day. So with that blue liner product on my number 22 brush, I'm starting to sketch that line upward and outward. The best way to create an angle for your eye is to follow your bottom lash line, almost going up and up and up toward the sky. So I actually start more toward the outer corner and pull that line down inward. That way I have control over the angle of my line and I'm able to fill in all of the little dips and dots in my skin. And then again on your second eye, you just want to repeat that same process, and trust me with this one. The messier, the better. Don't be afraid if you have bumps and dips in your line. We're going to take a brush in a minute and smooth over it anyway. And of course, we're still going to set it down with shadow. That shadow will fix any little imperfections. If you're looking straight ahead and you know you need to fix your first eye, finish what you're doing on the eye you're working on, go back quickly, fix the other eye, and then go back and continue with the eye you're on. Again, we don't want to leave that product sitting for too long without blending it down because it'll just be stuck to your skin and not want to move once it's dried. My eyes are very brown, but they're a very deep, rich brown with warm undertones. So that blue, because it's the opposite of orange, really pulls out the warmth in my eye and makes them sparkle. To really give myself that feline cat eye effect, I'm taking this product all the way into my inner corner. With this brush, I always point the tip of the brush where I want the smallest point of my line. So if you look very closely, you can see that this brush is pointing the opposite way of how it was before when I was doing the outer corner of my eye. I do this for my upper waterline and my lower waterline, so that way it comes to a point at my inner corner. So if you've watched the video, How to Fix Your Biggest Makeup Mistakes with our lovely pros, Jeffrey and Maisha, then you might already know this tip and trick. So I'm using my same number 22 brush. I just cleaned it off with my Sephora Collection brush cleaner. And I'm just going to pick up a little bit of my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion in the original shade to clean up any bumps and dips in my line. By using my primer, I'm able to pick up all that unwanted blue color, all that unwanted liner, without emulsifying and shifting the product around it. If I were to do the same trick with, say, makeup remover, all of a sudden my liner would start to shift and smudge and smear all over my face. This picks up just where you apply it. It'll really mend any boo-boos in your line without ruining the beautiful eyeshadow or contour you've already done. To set my liner in place, I'm going to use the Marc Jacobs Beauty Iconic Multi-Finish Eyeshadow Palette in Smartorial, and I'm specifically using the shadow in Power Performs. This shadow is the same exact color as my liner, so it's going to set it in place without shifting the effect of the liner that I really, really do love. Because the liners from Sephora Collection are so waterproof, I probably could just wear it out for the day, but I'm super oily and super hooded, so I don't want to tempt fate. I know this powder is going to lock it down for ultra long wear. I actually wore this look several times in store to test run it before I taught it to you guys, and everyone in my store was so impressed that it didn't transfer because it's so bright blue and they know I'm so hooded. So this look you can wear out for a night and really not worry about having to fix your shadow at all. To set with shadow, I'm using the Sephora Collection Pro Drawing Detail Brush number 40. This brush is awesome. I actually got into makeup because I was a painter first. This brush really mimics a natural paintbrush, so it glides really easily across my lash line. It allows me to press that powder in without a lot of fallout. And again, you guys, you might experience a little fallout, but that pressing motion, that patting on top of that liner will prevent as much fallout as possible. Sometimes when we don't tap off excess powder, or if we try to sweep that product along our lash line, that's when the fallout happens. And don't forget to smoke out your bottom lash line with that same number 40 brush, just so that way the liner doesn't look so harsh. So to emphasize my look with some highlights, I'm going to use the Milk Makeup Holographic Highlighting Powder in Supernova. This highlighting powder has quickly become my favorite. It shines blue when reflected under light, which is great for this look because it echoes those same tones on our eyes. I'm using my same number 18 brush, that super tiny baby brush, just to dab and dot that highlight right at the inner corner of my eye. If you feel like you go a little too extra and it's starting to take over the blue, just pick up your same drawing detail brush and go right back over it. We don't want to see a white dot, but we do want to see that bright inner corner start to fade toward our liner. And of course, I couldn't resist putting this all over my face as well. To highlight, I'm using the new Sephora Collection Pro Highlight Brush, number 98. This brush is perfect because it gives just the right amount of highlighter. It's fluffy, so you don't see a hard line or edge. You're not going to accidentally pick up your foundation, but it does give a little bit more density than your normal fan brush. So if you like to glow for the gods, this is a good one for you. And because my liner is so bright, I can't let my lashes get lost either. So I'm using the Too Faced Better Than Sex Waterproof Mascara. Lately, my eyes have been super drippy and super irritated in New York City. It's the cold and the weather and the wind. It's just making my eyes run at all times. So I've really been into this mascara lately. It gives me that same volume that I love, but I'm not all of a sudden going to have black smudges smearing underneath my eye throughout the day. Again, I do not want to have to touch up this liner at all, so I want a mascara that's going to lock my lashes in place and not start to transfer or smear. For my false lashes, I'm using Huda Beauty Faux Mink Lash Collection in Jade. And to adhere my lashes, I'm using none other than the Duo Brush On Adhesive. This adhesive is latex-free, which is very important for my sensitive eyes. If you have hooded eyes or smaller eyes, you know a dramatic lash can sometimes make the eye look smaller or overwhelm the eye and overpower. This one lifts up my eyes, lifts up my lashes, and makes my eyes look 10 times bigger than they are. And when I put on my false lashes, it's almost like I'm putting a little teddy bear on a shelf. You want to go up and over and sit them right on top of your natural lashes. I like to pinch afterward to put my natural lashes right as closely as possible to my false lashes, so that way you can't really see the difference between the two. Yay, lashes are on, dance party. For my lips, I'm using the Bite Matte Creme Lip Crayon in Sugarcane. I am disgustingly obsessed with this color. This is my favorite go-to lip shade because it's a natural color, but slightly pink, so it doesn't get lost into my skin tone. This product is matte, but still creamy and hydrating. It actually has lanolin in it, which is one of my favorite lip ingredients. It locks moisture into your skin. It actually waterproofs your lips, so that way no water can be lost and nothing can really affect the integrity of the lip color as well. I personally love to overdraw my top lip, which if you've seen some of my videos, you might already know. So I like to fill in my bottom lip first. I press my lips together, and then I start at the outer corners and work inward toward my Cupid's bow to create a fuller upper lip. And now it is touch-up time, so I'm going to use my Benefit California blush to add a little bit more flesh to my cheeks. I've been so into this blush lately. It's just the perfect little pop of coral for my skin tone, and it smells like a tropical vacation. To me, it smells like coconuts and sunscreen in a really wonderful way, and it kind of transports me away from the very frigid, cold New York City air. And I almost forgot. I love a little bit of highlight on the tip of my nose. Again, highlighting my nose is very important to me, so I'm just going to tap a little baby bit right at the tip. I don't want to do too much because that blue will really show, but I want to do just enough to emphasize the bridge of my nose and the tip of my nose just a little bit more. To set my face, I'm using the Urban Decay All Nighter Long Lasting Makeup Setting Spray, and I'm really dousing my skin in it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I obviously chose blue for my wonderful wing liner look today, but Sephora has dozens of colors of pencil, so you can pick whichever one best shows off your personality or your beautiful eyes as well. If you guys like the video, please like it and comment. I do try to respond to everybody, and also subscribe to the channel. I always watch their videos on my days off to learn new tips and tricks too. Avenue. And if you want to keep up with this Kim, then you can follow me at KCARPLUK. That's like you drive a car and pluck a chicken without the extra C. I can't wait to see you guys soon. Hopefully you visit me at Sephora Fifth Avenue. Bye!